What was it about this move that appealed to you?
I think the size of the club, the size of this club, you know about it, even, despite being English and playing in England most of my career, you know our Rangers and you know the size of this football club. And then when I matched up with this manager who I know very well, but I haven't worked under him before, everything I've heard from the way he is and his staff as well, I think it just matches up perfectly, and I think we can have a real successful season. That's why I came here.
Tell us about that relationship then, and how that developed at your time at Norwich.
Yeah, obviously, I played with the manager here. It crossed over a little bit, and then he actually came on loan here as a player, and that was when I first broke through at Norwich. So we had a really good relationship back then, and especially with Matt Gill, the assistant here, was my under-18s and 21s coach. So yeah, and then they were at Southampton as well. Fantastic, they'd come in then to try and make that happen. And I think everything just matched up perfectly, and it's something I really wanted to do, and I'm grateful Bournemouth allowed for it to happen as well. Which so yeah, it's in a really good position now. I'm looking forward to the season.
At your stage of your career, in terms of loan moves, does this one have to be right, do you feel?
Yeah, for sure. Just not getting the games at Bournemouth last season that I was happy with, and obviously when on loan to Valencia, and it was a similar situation there. So I think this is one that and I'm coming in here off the back of maybe not played as many games as I wanted to last season, but most of my career playing minimum 40 odd games a season. So I feel like with the build up from the pre-season games and into the season at full fitness, I feel like I'm coming in fresh as well from last season, and ready to go through, contribute in a massive way to a successful season.
You're obviously up against the captain in terms of him being right back as well. I mean, that's a tough challenge for you coming in to have to compete with him.
Yeah, I think when I've looked at that a lot of the other club I've been at, that's been a similar situation with the right back being the captain. So yeah, Tav's a great guy, and obviously has been a really successful player here, and anything I could pick up from him as well will be amazing. But obviously, like I said, I'm here to hopefully put my marker down and play as many games and contribute to a successful season.
You've obviously played with his brother for a long time. I mean, what kind of insight did Marcus give you into the mindset of the squad to play up here? Because it does seem to be different than a lot of other clubs, because that requirement to win every week.
Yeah, for sure. I think not just speaking to Marcus, I think speaking to people before coming here, I'm fully aware of the expectation here, and if you can call it challenge or whatever you want to call it, that's ahead. But I also believe in the project here, and with the manager coming in here, players that are coming in to add to the squad that I already think is a really good squad. I think I feel like there's a real positive feel around the place every day now. So I'm delighted to be here, and I think like I said, I know the challenge here. I know this side of the swimming club, so believe I'm ready coming in a good spot.
You've had a taste of success already in your career, under 21s, European champion. I mean, having had that, does that just increase the hunger for more? This is why you've come to a club like this, because you believe there is a chance of more silverware?
Yeah, I think, listen, like I say, I've had some success with the England team, and obviously at Norwich, winning the championship, so I know what that takes. And I also believe my colleagues here will fit very well. Like I said, I know that the size of the challenge here, but I'm also coming, I believe with at a point in my career now where I've got some good experience behind me, and played 100 Premier League games, and I feel like I can use that. They said there's a pressure here to play, and I believe I can, that'll be fine to hopefully deal with it. The football will shine through.
You've spoken about the challenges. How big a challenge will it be to win silverware? Rangers have been very much in Celtic's shadow for a while now. Do you feel like the foundations are put in place here to properly change that?
I think this now, I wouldn't have, been coming here if I didn't believe that this club is, in the right position to really challenge and push. I think the environment here is set up now, and I wasn't, I can't speak for before as I've just come in, but the environment here now is to really push and to win, whatever game we're in. I think it's a bit of a cliche, but to take each game as it comes, and hopefully as you do that, and what I've learned from before in successful seasons is when you take each game as it comes and focus on, no matter if it's the biggest game of the season people see or a game that you think you should win. Every game needs to be approached the same, and I think that builds then over time, and you start to see a successful season pan out, as the months go on.
How much did the prospect of potentially playing in the Champions League factor into your decision?
Yeah, that's huge. Obviously, seeing and having watched some of the European nights that this club's had in recent years as well, was huge in that. It starts very soon, and I can see that, we're a week into pre-season, all for his, and I can see that, we're all fully tuned in on the prospect ahead and what can be achieved if we have a successful run. So I'm really looking forward to it. For sure, that was a big factor in Conte's club.
You mentioned, or touched on, not playing as much football last season as you would like to have done, but you did play against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu up against Vinicius Junior. What did that do for you in terms of confidence? Would it be a terrific night for you personally and the team?
Yeah, that was amazing. Obviously, like I said, I think those seasons before I played near enough 40 games each season. I think that was probably in that experience building on that probably got me through at that point, because I hadn't played for months before being thrown in it. What call probably one of the toughest games in Europe. So, I felt great until the 75th minute. Legs won. Oh yeah, it was a really good game and a successful night. So, yeah, that was amazing. And like I said, those little games, the not little games, but those games there and those little bits of experience that you pick up along the way, standing in good stead to come to a club like this with this expectation.
I know you didn't play as much as you wanted to at Lindsay, but did going abroad make you a more mature and better player?
For sure, that helped massively. Obviously went there to play, but everything else, from a life point of view and experience, on and off the pitch, taught me a lot, and was big. So, it's a big club there as well, and a lot of expectation there. And when I went, they were, down at the bottom. So, it was a great experience.
Okay, it's last couple.
Having that experience, but did that open your eyes to maybe leaving English football and coming and experiencing another environment? Because Scottish football is different in its own way.
Yeah, I think so. I think, like I just touched on earlier, I think it's a really important season for me. Last season I can, I can take that out of all the seasons I played. Like I said, I played a lot of games last season. I drew a line under that, and I'm coming in here and hopefully Rangers fans will definitely see the best version of me that 2 years ago I felt was at my best, and I think hopefully coming a freshness as well. I think V will be really good, and this is a huge club, so I'm actually honestly delighted to be here.